Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Okay, pilots, I'm going into a different adventure here. We're going to put one of Guniac's systems here. He's set me up here. I got this 1850 kV and a FMS fan unit, and I know it's balanced perfect. I know it is. And this is one of his new and improved 70mm fiery booty control box, and it plugs into your throttle Y and your battery check plug. So let's see if we can get this in. Let's see if we can do this. All right. I know it fits in there, so I'm not worried about that. So we've got to maneuver our motor leads. Let me unplug this from the control board. We won't need that till later. You've got a hole there in the base where he's got his leads through. Well, you got to get your motor leads through there, and I suggest you do one of them or two of them, and then try to get that other one in, because they're kind of tight. It's kind of tight right there. Come on. There you go. Okay. All right. You could probably take some sandpaper if you wanted to and rough it up a little bit, pilots, but all I do, and since he's already, in the new and improved, there used to be slits in them every quarter. Just to slide over the body. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of test fit this for a second here. I just want to see how well it fits. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I just barely want it on there. I just barely want it on that base. I barely want it started on the motor I'm talking about. Because what I'm gonna do is just put me a little bit of epoxy just right around the edge, and then push the body on it. So I'm getting me a little bit of epoxy, 5-minute epoxy here. I'm not gonna need much. Just enough to put a little bit of dab here and there around that base. Just mixing me up just a little bit there. Put it on in a little screwdriver. little thin. Little thin bit. Get some more screwdriver. A little bit more right there. Alright, let me clean that screwdriver off. I don't like the stuff getting dry and hard on the end of my screwdriver. Alright, now, remember our leads are stuck through here, so we want to make sure that we're getting them leads in and relaxing. Alright, we just slid right on. Relaxing, relaxing. And then what I like to do, pilots, when I'm putting this thing on, any kind of burner, I guess, that's protruding off of the end of the motor, you're looking at your motor mount here. See? And you just eyeing it. See? You eye it from this angle looking at it. You're getting you up and down there a little bit. And then you can turn it this way and look at both mounts. See? Look at both mounts, and you might get even just kind of a little bit more maybe here and there, but I don't want that getting in the glue. Yep. And then you can just kind of look at it straight on from the back. And you can pretty much, I mean, you can get it there good enough. All right. We'll let that sit there a little bit because I don't want to be messing with it. And I'm going to also put a wire tie around it. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think it was in that bag. It's usually a pretty good long one. All I seen was some smaller ones. Maybe you don't want you to put that on there. Maybe not. Let me look at something else right quick. All I see is short ones that go around the wire. This one I'm gonna run around. I ain't gonna make it around there. Okay, we got our epoxy on there. Let me see if I got one. It kind of slid on there pretty easily. I bet that epoxy will hold it on there. Because I don't believe I got one longer than what he sent me anyway. Nope. I don't mind the same length. We're going to go with it. We're going to let that dry a minute. But I've already got my rod running through the fuselage. We're ready to go there. This other booty that I got from him, pilots, I put a FMS fan unit motor in an LX model single 70mm F-22. Yep. It's getting there. But I'm gonna put this on too, pilots. I had this on there. This is this right here is a grappling hook, you know. But that come off of a free wing F-18 Tomcat. So I just kind of I think there's some kind of side walls and stuff on it where it fits down into something. Well, I just ground all that down smooth, and I used a screw to screw the mount down back here with. I just put it on there. And if it flops down there and grabs hold of the ground, well, one screw, this little bitty thin wall of plastic right there, I mean, like that's gonna stop my jet from going, you know. I don't think there's no worry about it grabbing hold and jerking the whole rear of my jet off. Well, I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna let it set just a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can run this wire pilot. So, oh my goodness, here we go. Here we go. This is always the adventuring part, because you're going on an adventure here. Now, they got a wood plate gluing. I'll show it to you after I get it run through if I can. Holds the ESC down, and the backing's already been cut off. I don't remember if I'd done that or if it was already like that from factory, but I always like to do that, cut the backing off. I'll show it to you in a second. Let's just see if we can get this thing through here. So I'm gonna loop it around. That was a joiner there, so I don't want to pull on that. I want to hook it before I get where he soldered his plug in on the end. I want to get in front of that. I don't want to be pulling on that too much. I'm going to take just some masking tape. Tape right in front of the plug there and try to get it flat up against that lead where actually the corner of the plug won't grab a hold of something maybe going through there, but that tape will help pass it through. And I also like to put a little piece of tape on the loop down there so that it won't grab none of my other servos, leads, and start pulling it out, because I have accidentally, pilots, grabbed a hold of another servo connection there and pulled it loose. I didn't have no, I think it was a right rudder on my MiG-29 when I pulled it through. I've lost rudder. She's breaking up. Okay, now then, here we go. I'm trying to go right along beside the ESC. All the rest of the leads goes up under it, and there's not really any room whatsoever to go that way. And there's not really a lot of room to go this way. I've got to get the lead down in there. I've got the ESC pulled out as far as I can get it. And then as I'm pushing the lead in and pulling it in, I'm sliding the ESC along with it. Oh goodness gracious, I believe it's gonna go. I get this loop out of the lead. Don't want that loop to go through. That end up being a knot by the time you get about ready. And there she comes. I can feel it coming. Oh goodness, baby. Give it to me. Okay. I'm spent. Okay, we're getting our tape off here. Our fishing rod has done its job. It was tight, pilots, because it was hard for me to get the rod back up through there. So I knew it was going to be something. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm trying to get that ESC back up under that plate and running that wire beside it. But before I do that, I'm going to show you what this looks like first. That's what we're looking at right there. And if you can barely look back up in there, there's pretty good sized hole that the leads go through, but it's got to go up underneath that wooden plate that they got. So I'm simply going to pull my ESC back through, or push it back through up underneath the plate there, and start mounting the motor. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning before, the wire ties, he provides you with this wire tie anyway. I guess because you didn't have those little quarter cuts in it no more, it doesn't really need the other tie that goes around the top here. So we're just gonna, I've got it glued. I mean, it's in there. It ain't going nowhere. That epoxy's gonna hold that thing on there for here to eternity. But we just want to tie this up just a little bit right here. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Well, it's dry now. Okay. Now then. Let's see. I might have to get that ESC back up here again. Which it ain't nothing. It just slides up in and out. There we go. Yeah. Okay. You just can't stay where I said you do. You just can't do it. Can't do it, I tell you. Just can't do it. Alright, yellow to yellow. If I remember right, all these were hooked up right, but I might have to take it back out again and switch it around. I don't know. But I'm going with it. You're putting in a new motor, and I'm using an original ESC because Gooniac said I didn't really have to have a more powerful ESC. It was good. So we're going with it. I'm wanting to tighten my lead here a little bit. I'm grabbing a hold of my battery plug. Making sure I get the motor in there first. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking real good right there. I just had to pull the ESC and the lead back to me just a little bit. That's what you want, so you'll notice that sucker's tight. She's tight. Now, all right. Could be trouble. No. Oh. Yeah, that's a good one. You always want to try to make sure you got your right size Phillips head on there, folks. Some of them can be smaller, some of them can be medium, some can be like usual Phillips head screwdriver. You don't know. that one started. You got brass inserts into a solid plastic mount here that's about 1.5 inches long. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. But I do have a mount here. I'm going to show that to you if you didn't see it in that shot before. It kind of cracked up on me, broke up on me. You know, it ain't doing nothing but holding the hood on, or, you know, motor cover. It's not actually holding the motor in. That's tight. That one ain't. Oh. It pushes my flaps down when I set this one on. It just keeps sliding down, just sliding. But right here, let's take a look at this. Maybe the newer version is a little bit better shape. But look how my mount here is cracked up, broke out. But, you know, I've took this thing apart probably 4 times, so, you know, maybe that was it. Here we go. Let's see, we're gonna make sure we put the front on. Now, like I said before, I might be taking all this back out again. Switching them leads around. That's doing good. Oh, wait a minute. The notorious FMS 2mm. Get that one started. Not too tight on that front one. Okay, we got the top done, or the bottom done. We get a control board. Plug it back up, red to red. All right, now. Goodness gracious, what a mess, what a mess. And I had to pull it all, I had it all back up in there out of the way. All right, I've got to look at my receiver here. I want this come up where I can see the receiver. There we go. Well, I might have, I think I'm gonna have to see. I've got that on a piece of Velcro. My DX8E is retired, yeah. And I'm not gonna worry about taking it and sending it back up there and get it repaired or whatever it needs. It's giving me a full throttle warning every time I turn it on, and you know, the jet might not even be, throttle might not even be all the way on, but it's still giving me a throttle warning. Okay. That's the bind plug right here. Has that got my light control on it? Yep, that's got my LEDs on it. I got my LEDs plugged into the bind plug. Okay. Now I'm not gonna worry about setting up a gyro or nothing like that. I just want to get a signal here. Let's see what we got. I might even have it on this controller. F-18, FMS. Let's see. Well, let's see. 1 minute. Let me test this and make sure. Some of my batteries pots I got a little bit lower than what you want to store it at. So I've got to keep checking to make sure. Yep, that one's good. I'm just going to set this right here. All right, now. We got a wire harness. Okay. So I don't need to do the binding. We have to find the throttle, so I know that was the bind plug, so I need to count. Let's just, let's make sure here. Yep, throttle's on number 3. Wait a minute, no. It's number 1 on this one. Yep, it is. It's on number 1 because I've already got a wire harness on this for the original fan unit and the fiery booty that I had on it. Okay, now this goes in the battery after I plug it in. Let's get our LEDs plugged back in. We have to have the LEDs. Yes. All right, let's see what we got now. Throttle's down. Okay, that's what I thought. I bet you that was when I had the other Spectrum. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. At least I got the F-18 programmed in, but like I said, it might not have the gyro and stuff like that on. So I'm gonna turn the radio back off. Put my bind plug in. All right, now we're ready. Push my bind plug. I'm gonna walk over here a little bit. Alrighty then. Now, we're going to put our fairy booty plug in. Now, the one thing I've seen that there's no switch no more on it. We're going with the plug-in. We got a solid red light. And of course, pilots. Uh-oh. I guess we do have a gyro hooked up, huh? Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm going to unplug it right now, but I can get that bind plug out. I got to do that. Let me turn this back off. Yep, I done it. I unplugged it before I unplugged this. I done it. Let's make sure here. Okay. Well, we got some dancing now. All right. We got a red light. All right. Let's see here. Now, I'm not going to really open this thing up because I'm kind of letting the stand hold this thing here a second. Let's see. Don't know my hand thought kill. Hold on, man, Pops. Hold on. Let me get a little closer. I got to get my foot up here and hold this thing. All right. There you go. There's the Gooniac fairy booty. And the high power, boy, it's blowing the hell out of it too. High power, 1850 kV. All right, pilots, let me get my nest cleaned up. There you go. FMS F-18 with the Gooniac 33 fairy booty.com. I'm out.